Kayla is a very special animal. She is my dog. I've had many dogs in my life, and she is definitely different. We've always had this very unique connection, it seems, that she is very attuned to my energy, my intentions, my emotions, and is able to sense things on a much profounder level than I've had with any other animal. Kayla is a mentor of mine. My childlike curiosity is often a result of being reminded by Kayla how important it is to be in the present. Letting go of the past, letting go of who I am, getting out of my own way, and not being so worried about the future. Her daily reminder of how important it is to be in the now. I find that it's easier to let things go, to forgive, to not only forgive others, but to forgive myself, because being in the moment is being able to do just that. Translating that to how I should be living my life is staying focused on what is it that we want in that moment and how important it is to have a goal without worrying about how we go towards that goal and take that step. One of the most important things I think in life, and should be one of the priorities in life, is to first and foremost identify your purpose, your why of being. Remember, Mark Twain said that there are two most important days of your life: the day that you're born and the day you figure out why. When I finally refined down my purpose and why of being, the frequency that I decided to walk, which is to love, heal, and guide. To this day, when I think about it, it's still, I'm reminded by a previous coach and mentor that says every time you touch on your why and you think about it, it should make you emotional. And to this day, it still does. There are peaks and valleys into our life that we are continuously refining, that we all resonate at a specific frequency. And when we find that exact frequency that creates like a really refined line of vibration, we can actually walk that path. When you do that, that's when you have access to the power to create. To create in such a way that you literally can design the life that you want, the life that you deserve, on so many different levels. Years ago, I made a commitment that every time I moved, every move would bring me closer to the beach and not further from the beach. And every move that I did brought me closer and closer to the beach. Till now, today, if I move any closer, I'll be in the water, in which case I'd probably have to get a boat or something like that. I have an affinity for both a combination of land and water. I believe that the beach is almost a perfect representation of what harmonious living should be like. There's a fluidity in the water, and there's a groundedness of the beach, and having grounded fluidity is very indicative of how I live my life as best as I can. Grounded yet fluid, grounded yet flexible. I think how this reflects my work and what I do is kind of the same way. Although I can be grounded in the moment working with a client, there's still a level of flexibility and fluidity in my approach, which then creates the level of success that I've been able to create thus far with almost all of my clients. I remember there was a time when I was younger when the teacher was asking everybody in the class, what is it that you wanted to do when you grow up? All I said is I wanted to make people happy. That's all I knew. And I must have been, 9, 8 or something at the time. I think the roots came from that in terms of what really propels me to eventually get to where I am today, where everything that I did in life, in some shape or form, was rooted in the basis of wanting to make people happy, wanting to help people. That is the crux of why I created the Six Figure Academy. Not because it's just about creating six figures, but more about the metaphorical representation of having a six-figure bank account, but also six figures in your emotional, mental, and energy bank accounts as well. And what you can then accomplish having that type of a lifestyle and what that represents. Problems around money never has anything to do with money. And it wasn't until I realized that for myself that I started to look deeper and said, okay, what's really behind my ups and downs? What's really behind making six figures and then making nothing, and then going back to making six figures and making nothing, and going back to make beyond six figures and making nothing? And what that really came down to was that money was a reflection of the problems I wasn't willing to deal with in my life. The problems of self-worth, not deserving, self-esteem, these underlying silent obstacles in my life that really got in the way of decisions that ultimately created self-sabotage, allowing myself to be vulnerable and real with who I was and what I had to do to get the job done. It wasn't until then that my issues with money anxiety and financial worries started to curb itself. Problems around money, financials, and anxiety is not a stranger to me. And part of why I do what I do is to inspire and motivate others through my same journey and continue to grow as well, so that I can help my clients grow too. I found one of the most powerful ways to get results quickly is being able to infuse all the different strategies at once. What I've done is I've taken aspects of each of those techniques of NLP, mental emotional release, language patterns, Qigong, and Huna and energy work, and even somatically getting my clients involved on those levels to bring in all four at once in one singular technique. And preferably, I only work with individuals that have poised themselves to create impact in this world, that know and have a desire to make a difference in this world. So I've worked with nonprofits, I've worked with people who are other coaches and other healers, so that they can be better, what I like to say, vessels of goodness in this world. And that's one of my biggest motivations, and why what I do energetically, holistically, mentally, emotionally, physically all comes together and creates the success in my client's life. I'm reminded about what I can focus on a daily basis. I can focus on my problems, or I can focus on what I'm here to do. I mean, at the end of the day, I love what I do. And I believe I am so lucky to be able to do what I love, and at the same time, change people's lives. I change people's lives on a daily basis, using specific techniques and strategies that basically are what some of my clients call magical. And I can't ask, I mean, it's so hard for me to ask for anything else. Ultimately, my greater vision is to inspire evolutionary change in humanity by empowering conscious entrepreneurs who know that they're here to make a greater impact from the inside out. My name is Wei Houng, and I'm a breakthrough coach.